We're back. Now we're headed to Pendergrass, but first, take care of business. I imagine 50 gang was watching me on GPS.
You have a message.
Yeah.
She's saying, V3, okay. My husband. Okay, now we're going to Pendergrass. Tell you, this is a nice house, man. They even got a dog park. So they put the dogs on one side of the yard, fenced off from the rest of the yard. The dogs got their own little park. Ugh. I need a wife park. Put my wife in her own little section. Just playing, I know you watch. All right, let's get it. Basketball. He got a basketball court on wheels so he can move it. Look at that. This basketball court wheels. Plenty of land too. So you get more for the money when you go away from Atlanta. Keep it manicured too, boy. That look nice. Alrighty, guys. That is giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, up, giddy up, giddy up.
So what do we got here? Who's coming up? Who's showing up? We usually see the kids, his kids, adult kids coming in. We'll see people put up their cameras and streamers and everything like that. And we'll see. I'm looking around the other feeds while we're here, seeing what's going on, what's being said. Friday, it is Friday. Welcome aboard. We will be listening in real time, as we always do, sharing the latest in the Sean P. Diddy trial. Come on in, come on in. When the marshal usually comes up there, that means somebody's coming. Oh, this is what I was going to say. There was a guy yesterday that appears a person got arrested yesterday. Some dude with like a baseball in his sock. And this was like the second time this individual got arrested at the scene. Somebody with like a lock and a sock or something, or some baseball and a sock, and he came back and they arrested him. In the first week he was out there, putting out threats towards Diddy. Or not Diddy, but Diddy, I guess anyone that feels like he's guilty. Like, I think he was a supporter of Diddy.
It's a big turn.
Come on in, folks. JLR Investigates. some dude had some sort of baseball in a sock. I don't know if you guys seen that. He was like hurling out insults. Don't know his name, but the police actually brought out one of those yellow tasers. They were about to taser him if he didn't cuff up. There's like a YouTuber that specifically films the outside of the courthouse, like what's going on, the circus-like atmosphere. Apparently, there is also a nurse, a man dressed up as a nurse with a yellow blonde wig that appears to be out there interviewing people and things like that. Yesterday, Jane Combs' former girlfriend testified that she and Combs shared a loving relationship beginning in 2021 after her first freak off. However, she said it became a Pandora's box situation from that point on, and she felt she had no choice but to go along with what Diddy tells her to do. The sex sessions, freak offs, lasted 24 to 30 hours, they say, with no sleep. This one says 24 to 30 hours. I think yesterday we were 20 to 30 hours, but 24 hours straight of freak offs with dozens of bottles of baby oil, no condoms. It's crazy. As a single mother who came to depend on Diddy, I felt an obligation because I knew he was paying my rent. She testified. It's what she testified. Jane Doe. So it's crazy. She's going to get into more details here today. Here we go. Who's here? Who's coming? Who is coming? Who is coming in? Who could this be? Who do we got? Could be, yeah, it's a family member. It's his mom. You know why? Because Lucci's there. The family friend stands in front of the door here, implies that it is a family friend. It's a family. Family. Welcome aboard. Come on in. Day 18. It's going to be a long day, folks. Going to 5 p.m. today. Mom is here. It looks like it's the mom. Looks like we got mom. We shall see for sure.
Freaky ass on out.
We like to see who comes in. It's becoming like a daily tradition on the channel. Judge is on the bench, by the way. Judge is on the bench. Here she is. Janice Combs. Mom has arrived again. She's been here all week. Look, she got her nails. Look at her nails. Look at her nails. She's here. She arrives separately from everybody else in his family. She got like a flowery outfit. Oh, we didn't even talk about Diddy and his defense getting chastised and warned by the judge, telling him to knock it off and stop staring at the jury.
Oh, I see. You want to feed it now? We have time. Okay, call these guys. Hey guys, you want to feed your stuff now?
Again, they're not going to show the text
Yeah, I know.
to the public. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Stand by.
You produce people. The genius class, FX3, right? Yeah. HDMI cable.
All right, we're here. Judge is on the
You need
bench.
to make a call. You need to make a call where everyone's voting, right?
All right, so we get some sound so we all can listen a little bit. Come on in, JLR Investigates. All right, so the judge has taken the bench. What was that? Whoa! What was that?
What?
Are they showing us a look of the courtroom? Are they giving us an inside look of the courtroom? What is going on here?
Oh,
This is
shit.
the Reuters feed.
Oh shit.
What do we got going on here?
Keep your mouth closed. Oh, they cut it.
That does not... I don't know if that's the courtroom. Whoa. Listen, this is coming from Reuters, who is saying live feed outside the courthouse, and now they're showing this. Now, I don't know what this is. Did they allow the media to give a glimpse of what the courtroom looks like? Or is this some other courtroom? This is interesting. It says U.S. Department of Justice on the right. Like, this is a federal courtroom. So what is this all about? This looks like look, I did not expect this, so I don't know what this is, folks. I don't know if this is legitimately in his courtroom or not. But Reuters has it up as if it's the courtroom, because they're saying live Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking.
I got you.
I like that axe, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
Just 1 second. JLR Investigates continuous coverage of the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial. All right, so before we bring the jury back in, the judge says, what about the screenshot of the text between Ventura and KK? And we're talking about that September 30th, 2016 text. Combs is Shapira. The only text should be admitted, not the photo. AUSA, the juries should know it's a screenshot, not the text. AUSA, my error was only look at the first message. I apologize. You may like screenshots opposed to text. We do. Judge says I'm done. AUSA, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Judge says I understand.
Not useful.
Judge says I'm just not sure this is the hill you want to die on.
It's been there. Snuck up on me.
Folks,
Oh,
okay, they took it off. Did they actually give us a brief glimpse of inside the courtroom? Because I think they did. Because now we're back outside of the courtroom. If anyone has attended that courtroom, can you please say if that was inside? That looks like that was in the courtroom before court was in session. It might have gave some of the media an opportunity to give you a brief inside look of what it's like in there. But if that's it, I mean, this is exactly what I've been saying about how these federal courtrooms are. Professional. You see all the screens in the courtroom there. Judge high on the bench. Looks like dark wood on the side. Dark wood on the side walls. That was crazy. We actually, I believe, had a look for a second inside the courtroom. Now, obviously, you know, they don't have cameras in the courtroom, but I do know that sometimes they do allow media to do a brief, take some pictures of what the courtroom is like, and or maybe a quick video before everyone is in the courtroom. But that is what a federal courtroom does look like. So, whoa, Diddy's in trouble. Diddy is in some big, big trouble. All right, so they're ironing out these screenshots of these communication between Ventura and KK over that incident about the balcony. They're addressing that right now. Housekeeping matters before court is in session. And then we should get this party started in the next few minutes. Next few minutes, we're back up and we'll see what happens here. Sean Combs entered the courtroom wearing a dark sweater today over a white collared shirt. So another sweater day for Diddy. Like most days, he speaks with his lawyers, hugging some of them. He doesn't hug all his lawyers. That's one thing I noticed. I know that he's been seen hugging Steele, hugging Westmoreland, and hugging Donaldson. Then he looked into the gallery and maintained a relaxed demeanor. He has visibly taken an active role in his defense, conferring with his attorneys and passing notes during witness testimony. Testimony from those who worked with or under Combs describe him as an involved chief executive. It seems he takes the same posture with his defense attorneys. So we got that. So back in the court, sweater. Combs' lawyer, Driscoll making something an appearance and talking to the judge. Driscoll says, these texts, you have thousands of videos of my performing every weekend on your phone. They are backward looking and hearsay. We argue that Mr. Combs was upfront about the non-monogamous nature of the relationship, as Jane said. You have thousands of videos. Text is being
that's crazy. Thousands of porno.
discussed right now. Videos and text. So that's what's going on here. Housekeeping matters. Let's see. CNN actually has a report on lawyers discussing evidentiary issues before testimony begins. Prosecutors and defense attorneys are discussing summary charts of text messages that have already been omitted into evidence. Prosecutors want to highlight the charts for the jury. Prosecutor Comey said the prosecution team wants to include in the summary chart a photo of Combs' phone showing messages between Combs and Jane that was recovered from his former chief of staff, KK's phone. And here's another thing, folks. This is why it's most likely at this point KK is going to testify, because she has to corroborate to itself that they came from her phone. That raid they did on KK, the warrant they did when she was at that Miami airport and they seized her phones, apparently has a client list of numbers inside KK's phone and all types of stuff that were some deleted and some in her phone that the authorities were able to extract. KK is a big part of all of this, and they feel like she's going to be testifying sometime during this trial. She made a deal with the prosecutors. Comey goes on to say, you can see KK hand holding Combs' phone. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're saying they have screenshots or something in that video or something, and the video's taken. And video's taken, it says, Comey says you can see KK's hand holding Combs' phone, which shows KK's knowledge of the events described in the text messages, and that KK had access to Combs' phone. They already laid another bombshell right here. KK's hand could be seen on some videos with his phone and or her phone, but her hand showing that she has knowledge of the events. Boom!
This is crazy.
Magnolia puts in, Driscoll, we argue that Mr. Combs was upfront about the nature of the relation, as Jane said. Basically saying that, Diddy's saying that she is not a girlfriend. AUSA goes on right now. They're discussing matters. In their opening, they attacked Jane's credibility, called it consensual. As you heard yesterday, Jane felt coerced. They have opened the door. The judge rules that they are admissible to rebut the defense opening, so it is appropriate to introduce those statements. So what this is about is AUSA is saying at the beginning opening statements, the defense had attacked Jane's credibility, calling it all consensual. But they're saying Jane said on the stand, prosecutors, that she felt coerced. Therefore, they opened the door to allow certain things to be omitted. Correspondence, texts. Whoa. But one thing that sticks out to me is KK. Prosecutor just name dropped KK again, saying KK has knowledge of the events described in the text messages and that KK had access to Combs' phone. Oh, you can bet your bottom dollars KK's testifying.
Yeah.
That just was another bombshell that shows that KK is involved with this stuff. She has knowledge of this stuff. Federal prosecutors on June 5th referred to Combs' staff, KK, as an agent and co-conspirator of Combs. That doesn't mean she's about to face charges. It indicates she likely reached an agreement with prosecutors and will testify. That's what USA Today is reporting. And what Comey just said clearly backs that kind of theory up. She just Comey just name dropped KK again, saying she has knowledge of events described in text messages and that KK has access to Combs' phone. Bad for KK. Oh man, this is big. This is big. All right, so they're on the bench. They're still talking evidentiary issues about these texts. And here we are, ready to bring the jury in, ready to bring Jane back in. And we'll see what happens today.
Jane comes.
Continuous coverage of the Sean P. Diddy trial. I see a lot of people starting to piling in. Keep coming in. Welcome. This is the daytime go-to channel when it comes to the Sean P. Diddy Combs case. We're here all day in real time, listening to the shocking testimony. It will be Jane for the next multiple days into next week, possibly all the way into Thursday or late afternoon Wednesday. Jane will be on the stand. Prosecution has her on the stand, her all day. She's not going to be crossed today. Cross might happen Monday, possibly at the earliest. Multiple days. That means Jane would be on the stand for 3 days, describing detail after detail about how she met Diddy, how Diddy got her hooked on drugs, how Diddy got her involved with the freak-offs, how she described it opened up an entire Pandora's box and her whole life going downhill. And I think she's going to describe it much, much worse than she already described. What's going on here? Anyone recognize these individuals? The camera always zooms in on interesting people that make their appearance. Does anyone know who this group of individuals are? Because the cameras are focusing in. What's going on? Anyone recognize? What's going on here? You know, the court also has other matters. It could be a totally separate thing going on. Could be separate, but yeah, people arrive. I agree. It is not a child-friendly case. I don't think this is the type of case you should bring any children, anyone under the age of 18. Matter of fact, we have said numerous times on our channel, viewer discretion is advised, particularly with these crazy testimony, the graphic details. And Jane said some really graphic stuff yesterday all on the stand. One thing that stuck out to me was more or less Diddy made her do a freak off without the person using a condom, which is absolutely crazy. And he's telling her, well, I know he's been tested, he's good. She's asking. And then also the shocking revelation that she had to do freak offs, hotel nights, 20 to 30 hours.
Dang.
20 to 30 hours with 2 dozen bottles of baby oil, drugs. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me go here and see what's going on. You know, someone said that was Dana Tran and some children. And I'm looking at her photo, that individual that we saw there, and I don't know. I don't know. All right, so we're about to get started here. JLR investigates. Stand by. Everyone's hitting the bench. The jury might be coming in shortly. They were discussing evidentiary issues. Here we go. We have his photo. Yesterday, some key things that were discussed. Combs was warned by the judge for gesturing to the jury. Jane describes hotel nights with Combs starting in 2021, first year of the relationship, 2021. She describes all types of hopscotching around the country to participate in these freak-offs. We share that builds the foundation for sex trafficking, interstate prostitution. It seems like Diddy did have her dressed up as a prostitute, doing prostitution things. She on a lot of drugs. She testified before meeting Diddy. She hadn't did drugs since 2014, 2015. Diddy automatically started giving her ecstasy. KK's there. They're at the Turks and the Caicos. Then it all starts. Everything starts going downhill. Diddy's holding his power over her. She spends less time as a social media influencer, whatever her career was. She said that social media, that starts tanking. Diddy's forbidding her to be around all her friends, hounding her. So she loses her friendship, loses her job. Diddy then comes up with a love contract. Has her write in his web, love contract, I'll pay your rent. But in return, you have to do this, that, and the other. Freak-offs. And every crazy thing. Driscoll says the government sent us 6 years of text messages.
Damn.
Then they somewhat reduced them. We stand by our objections. The foundation has not been laid. But the judge says the government shall lay the foundation. AUSA Johnson, we had laid it. We have laid it. So we should see 6 years of text messages.
That's a lot.
Discovery. 6 years of text messages. That's what Driscoll's saying. Six years of text messages. All right, still discussing these evidentiary issues before the jury comes in. Diddy trial updates. Jane testifies about drug use, debauchery with escorts. Who's this guy? Who is this guy? I do think, though, that during the trial, particularly when Diddy's turn in the defense, people are going to be, more and more people are going to show up. Bring in the jury and the witness. All right, Jane is on the stand. Jane back on the stand. That starts 9:17 a.m. We are started. Jane back on the stand. Good morning. Good morning. How many times did you travel to Las Vegas? She says once. On Sean's plane. He was hosting an event. Then he wanted entertainment for the night. We had that. All right, here we go. Looks like we have another freak off about to happen in Las Vegas. She traveled to Las Vegas on Sean's plane. He was hosting an event. Anybody know what event that was?
Freak out.
21, 22, 23, 24. Did he have an event that he hosted? Let me look. Sean Diddy Combs Las Vegas event. Do we know what's going on? And if certain event? Ah, 2022, it says iHeartRadio Music Festival lineup. Sean Combs will perform at the iHeartRadio Music Festival be held at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on September 23rd and 24th. Is that what we're talking about here? 2022? Twirly, thank you for the gifted membership. One lucky member. A member of JLR Investigates courtesy. Twirly. Thank you. Very grateful. All right, so they're talking about an event. Here we go. Then he wanted entertainment for the night. We had that. What do you mean? We had sex. What did going off the grid mean?
No communication.
She said getting free. Did Sean call you a freak? Yes. He wanted me to be wild and sexual. Here we go again. Did you ask Sean if the entertainers could wear condoms? Yes. The first time with Don and another. Remember Don, but Don didn't put one on. Sean guilty tripped me out of it. It was not something he wanted to see. Unbelievable. He's making her do this
Without a condom.
without the person wearing a condom. She's telling Diddy, I want condoms. And he's guilty tripping her out of it. What was his tone? Condescending. AUSA flat out asks, did he say why he did not want the entertainer to wear a condom? We'll get into that answer shortly. If she responds, she's going to respond, oh, not wearing a condom. Now that's crazy. Imagine being forced to be a freak off is worse in itself. But it gets even worse when the person that makes you do the freak off tells you they're not going to wear a condom, even though you insist. As bad as it is. No condoms. That is horrible. Horrible. I mean, that is how STDs get passed around, right? And I know it's bad to listen to. Again, viewer discretion is advised. But it's crazy. He is telling her they're not going to wear condoms and guilty tripping her into continuing without a condom. Ugh. Gross. Bah. Ugh. Ugh. Jane is back on the stand, testifying under pseudonym. She spoke yesterday of how her passionate and exciting and sometimes taboo relationship with Sean Combs devolved into forced sex acts under financial duress. She's wearing a maroon suit and, like yesterday, seems shaky but resolved. As she took a seat on the witness stand, she looked down at her hands, taking a deep breath before giving a tear-slight smile to the courtroom. So she looked down at her hands, took a breath, and then got her composure, and now she's looking up. And now she's talking. And the prosecution goes right out the gate. Vegas, performance, no condoms. Did he not want to see a rubber? He did not want to see a rubber. That's what Jane said. He did not want to see a rubber. So it was like the look. Like while Diddy's watching the freak offs, I guess he doesn't want to see the rubber of the condom. He wants to see bear to bear. And I don't want to be graphic, but you get what I'm saying. He don't want to see the condom. Did you ever raise it even when sober and not in a hotel room? Yes. Was this ever recorded? Yes. Oh man. They're about to play a recording of Diddy telling her people ain't gonna wear condoms, and she saying, I want people to wear condoms, and he's saying no. I believe the tape is coming. She said it was recorded. One that I am aware of. I am trying to ask the entertainer if he can wear a condom. He's looking for it. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go. AUSA. I like to call up this exhibit with an aid. Did you listen to this? Yes. And did you read the transcript that's up on the screen? Yes. Screen not visible for the gallery. Looks like it's this part where she's insisting that there's a condom involved. I want a condom, and apparently probably Diddy saying no, but we'll see what exactly is going on. But they're playing something that has been transcribed, a recording that has been transcribed. So apparently Jane was telling the freak off guy about the condom. Getting a condom. And now they're sharing this recording that's transcribed. The transcript. The transcript is up on the screen. Now the gallery can't see it. So when things are hidden from the gallery, it means it's very graphic and they're protecting her. A lot of things have been sealed with this case. Freak off videos have not been shared with the gallery, only in the parties. And it seems like what's going on right now is the same thing. So here we go. On the stand, transcripts being shown. Not a good look. Jury's seeing this right now. Not a good look for Diddy. Any explanation? Come on in. Good morning. All right, so right now, jurors are looking at this transcript. So apparently Jane probably was, unless somebody else was recording it. Who's recording it? That interaction was recorded. Did Jane bring out her phone and secretly record? Or was this recorded and this was discussed in the course of the freak-off about wearing protection? Because the jury is now listening or looking at the transcripts. Why didn't they just play the recording? It kind of gives you more perspective than a transcript. Similar to like we're reading what's transcribed by the tweet. I don't really like to talk about this graphic stuff, so I just want to let you all know. Okay, they did play an audio. Scratchy audio played. So, here we go. AUSA Comey. Let's start at 8 minutes and 20 seconds. When you said, I think they're in the chair, what were you referring to? She said condoms. What did you understand what Combs means when he said, you're just taking that D-I-C-K? You were just taking that D-I-C-K. Oh, man. Diddy told her to just take it. Just take it. Take it. Like, take that. Take that. Crazy. Diddy. It's crazy. Diddy is crazy. That is absolutely insane. There's an audio recording. Unbelievable. Diddy's crazy, man. Jane testifies that Combs wanted her to be wild and sexual. Jane testified that she traveled to Las Vegas with Sean Combs around 2023. She flew on Combs' private jet to get there, and they had a hotel night. She confirmed she had sex with an entertainer. She testified yesterday that entertainers were other men she had sex with at Combs' direction. Jane said that Combs used the term freak to refer to her, sometimes by saying he wants his freak. She said it meant that Combs wanted her to be wild and sexual. Y'all taking me out of my comfort zone, man, on this one. Yikes. Yikes. Jane goes on to say that we already had intercourse. AUSA Comey. And when he said, if you don't touch yourself right now, what was he saying? To just move on. Why did you think you need special permission from Sean for the man having sex with your body? Wear a condom. Combs' lawyer. Objection. Judge. Overrule. AUSA. Sidebar. Sure. All right, so we got a sidebar, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a sidebar already. First sidebar of many sidebars. Expect many, many sidebars today. Many, many sidebars today, probably. So we got a sidebar. Last question that was asked before Combs' lawyer. Don't know which lawyer objected. Usually the lawyer objects to the one that's going to do the cross. Why did you think you need permission from Sean for the man having sex with your body to wear a condom? Objection. Because Combs is the leader. Everything has to go through Combs. That's why. She has to do exactly what Combs says. Seek his validation. Yes or no? Can I do this? Yes or no? All right, so we are on Sidebar. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Continuous coverage of the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial outside the federal courthouse, 500 Pearl Street. Jane Doe is on the stand, second day now, talking about this Las Vegas incident. Entertainers, Las Vegas freak-offs in Las Vegas. We're talking about protection used during the freak-offs. Joe, welcome. Joe, thank you for being a member. Renee, welcome. Thank you for being a member of JLR Investigates. Twirly, again, thank you for the gifted membership earlier. Very grateful. Bonnie. Bonnie says it's gross. I know the power of money must be amazing. Not me, though. Bonnie's like, nope, I ain't doing this. Pauline, thank you. Thank you for the support. Putting things up on the screen here. We're in a sidebar. Annette, thank you for the gifted membership. Another lucky person. Member of JLR Investigates. Courtesy of Annette. Annette S. Thank you. Very, very grateful. Thank you. All right, so we're on a sidebar. Sidebar, folks. I'm going to refresh the screens and see what has been discussed on some of these media publications, but we are up to speed. We're getting into Las Vegas. I think she's talking about this Sean Combs iHeart Music Festival, September 23rd, 24 Vegas event. There shouldn't be no objection allowed. Yeah, they object. I think objection is a way to shut it all down. They don't want certain stuff to come out. Let it all out. Let the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth be out. Let her say it. Keep your comments coming. We're putting them on the screen. Jane Doe, from 2021 all the way up to his arrest. It's quite possible Jane Doe was maybe possibly on the way to the Park Hyatt Hotel where Combs got arrested to do a free call. As we heard from Agent Binda earlier in testimony, the day Combs got arrested, they were pretty much, someone in hotel room of Diddy's was about to do a free call. Could be Jane Doe here. All the way up to arrest. You know, that could have been a way that the feds identified Jane Doe. They specifically said yesterday, all the way up, she was with him all the way up to his arrest. Not a week before his arrest. All the way up to his arrest. Well, what was testified at time of his arrest? All types of freak-off stuff in that hotel room. I'm wondering if Jane Doe was there or on her way there. Or what was happening in that hotel room. I mean, it's common sense. There was a freak-off about to happen before Diddy got arrested. I personally think that's why they swooped in. I personally think that maybe they were listening in on Diddy's devices and he was getting Jane Doe to come out there. And since they've already know what's going on, feds ain't going to let a crime happen if they're aware about it. And they had to go and get him the way they went and got him before he committed a crime. I think the feds have an obligation to stop someone from committing a crime before they commit a crime if they know that's about to happen. All right, we're back. Here we go. Why did you say no? Jane Doe goes, he'd get agitated. Wait, why did you not say no? Yeah, that didn't make sense. Why did you not say no? He'd get agitated, just like the other ones have testified. Can't say no to him. Can't get him out. Can't get Diddy mad. How would intercourse with an entertainer end? Same thing with Cassie. He'd finish on me. Cassie has testified about the same thing. Then what with Sean? We'd have sex. Would you clean up the mess? No. Why not? Sean liked it. Oh man, come on. All right, so you see that word that Magnolia has on the screen? Starts with an E. I'll just say a mess. Now this gets sick. Would you clean it up? No. Why not? Sean liked it. He liked to play around with it. Oh. Sean played around with it. Then what? I'd take a shower and get ready for the next one. AUSA, typically how many rounds? Objection, overruled. She says every entertainer was different. Some 3 rounds per entertainer. Crazy. Look at that on the screen. Read it on the screen, folks. This is crazy. Who decided if you could stop when you were tired? Sean Combs. And she's crying. Jesus, take the wheel. Absolutely. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh my goodness. She just testified that Combs decided when she should stop. Combs. She just testified. Combs decided when she could stop, when she was tired. And now she's crying. AUSA, do you need a moment? She's crying on the stand right now. I'm sorry, she apologized. I'm sorry. What was your question? She's crying. She's flat out bawling. AUSA is, you need a moment? Do you need it? Time out? Do you need a break? She's like, what's your question? How did you say you wanted to stop? Like, how did you say you want to stop? She goes, I'd say I'm hungry. Make little faces. She said, I sent him cues. What would he say? What would he say? He'd say, you're not getting tired of me, are you? Let's go out on a high note. Let's finish strong. And she's crying. She's crying. She's on the bench crying. Diddy's like, let's go out on a high note. Let's finish strong. You're not getting tired of me, are you? She has to get permission by him to stop. And he's giving her this so-called pep talk. Let's go out with a high note. Let's finish strong. She's crying. See, she is afraid to tell him flat out no. So she has to kind of like make faces and say, I'm hungry. Sending him cues like she's done. She can't do this anymore. And he would just be like, you're not getting tired of me, are you? Let's go out on a high note. Let's finish strong. What would Sean give you to keep you awake? and having sex with all these entertainers. Uh-oh, drugs. Most likely drugs. Ecstasy. Here you go. Sean is giving her ecstasy so she can stay awake and have sex with these entertainers. Did you ever cry after one of these hotel nights? Twice. Tell us about the first. This is really bad. This is really bad. Jane, I thought it was a date night, one-on-one. But he said there would be an entertainer, but just a quick one. I hung on to that, but it was 18 hours. How is a body even capable of doing something for 18 hours? She says she was tricked one time. She thought it was a date night, one-on-one. Diddy's like, we're going to bring an entertainer in, but it's just going to be quick. Don't worry about it. Quick. No, one of those type of guys that say, oh, okay, let's just do this, but it's don't worry, it's going to be real quick. Ended up being 18 hours. 18 hours. A freak off for 18 hours.
Over half a day.
We have done streams on JLR Investigates here 12 hours. And I can tell you, it is brutal streaming even for that long. It's hard. It's hard to do anything for 18 hours. Try driving for 18 hours. Straight. Especially when you're coming in with the mindset that it's not going to be that long. He tricked her. He tricked her. He told her, well, not only that, she didn't even want to do nothing at all. He's just like, he's an entertainer real quick. And then manipulated her. She ended up doing it, and it would turn it into this real quick thing turned into 18 hours. And after 18 hours and 3 rounds with the entertainer, Sean said he had to leave. I started crying. Oh, he used her. She just testified that she thought she was having a date night, like a one-on-one, just a date night with Combs. But it didn't turn out to be anything with her and just Combs. Combs wanted to have an entertainer, brought an entertainer in. She had 18 hours and 3 rounds with this entertainer. And then when it was done, Sean leaves. They didn't even have their date night. That was the date night for Sean to watch her be with an entertainer for 18 hours and 3 rounds. And Diddy just gets up and leaves. She said she started crying. He totally used her on that one incident. AUSA Comey goes on to say, were you with someone else? She goes, I was with Sean. It was the Waldorf in Beverly Hills. Early in our relationship. What did Sean say? He said he was crying.
You have a message.
Like, freaking disgusted that she was crying. Then he just sat there listening to music. I was clinging to him. He said he could move things around with his family and I could go with him.
You have a message.
Yeah.
So, what she just testified is another time she was crying right in front of Sean, and Sean didn't even care that she was crying. Like, he didn't say, like, what's wrong, baby? Are you okay? Seems like it was a burden for Sean. He felt disgusted because she was crying. And he didn't take any of her feelings into any consideration Ask her what's up, about why she's crying. What's wrong, baby? Here. How can I help? Whatever. And he just sat there listening to his music. She's talking about that incident. And the second time, I was in the shower after one of those nights, freak-offs. AOSA is like, is your memory spotty? What do you remember? She goes, I was so high. She goes, I was having sex with Paul. Then I was in the shower with Sean. He said, stop it. I'm too high. Stop. Maybe it's she said, stop it. I'm too high. Stop. This is a shower incident. The second time she cried. So she's talking about an incident in the shower after a freak off. We'll get more details of this as it comes through.
All right, guys, we are in Pendergrass, Georgia. This is my second stop of the day. I hope you enjoyed listening to the horrible, devastating testimony of Jane. I think that was the blonde chick that was in the Puffy and Biggie video. She had the blonde hair. She had a kid by him. Came in sex toy. Yeah. We'll be back after stop number 2. Okay, I'm back. We are done here in Pendergrass. Turn that on. Turn that on. Take care of some business. Then we're heading home. Tomorrow, I believe I have to go to Hogansville to work on a Samsung refrigerator. Put a defrost heater in it. Whew. That's cool. That's 700 basically. That's all right. Next, we need to turn this air on, buddy. Sure, it's getting to be getting hot in the mood. All right, home, son. Clear. Next, we need to take them off. Now we go to Tina Ferguson. Okay. Now let's get you back on to that disgusting testimony.
And part of Diddy's inner circle turned into the entirety of our relationship. She said she thought they were just going to have a one-on-one date night. But then Combs said they would have an entertainer, but it would just be quick. Jane said the entertainer was there for 18 hours. Once they finished with the entertainer, Jane said Combs told her he had to leave.
Left her there by herself.
He tricked her. she began crying. I just went through all that and was feeling terrible. And he said he was just going to leave, she said. Oh my goodness.
Sad.
Oh my
Freaky
goodness.
dicky. What did it?
All right, viewer describes AUSA Comey. You don't have to read this, but did you write, I want to suck Paul? Why did you write that?
What? No one hear that again?
Jane, that true? At the beginning of the relay on to memories of kindness, prosecution is trying to demonstrate that the freak-offs were not totally consensual for partners of such Combs and Jane. She goes on to say, I just understood that my request was going to be denied. So more or less she's begging for protection. Combs is saying no, and she can't press him any further. No means no in Combs's eyes. And how dare you question Combs? So she ended up having to do it without protection. It's crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy stuff. We're still on a sidebar here. This is powerful, powerful testimony by Jane. Coercion, forced into this. Diddy's just encouraging her to continue. The other time she talked about how she thought she was just going out on a date with Diddy, and he manipulated her and tricked her into a freak off. This guy's crazy, man. This is like multiple sidebars also in the last couple minutes. Might be a sidebar day all day long. My goodness. Let me know what you think here. It's getting really heavy. Getting really deep and crazy. He thinks he has the power, the juice. Diddy. He totally has Jane under a spell here of total manipulation and control.
Yeah, financially.
All right, we're back. We're back. Come on in. AUSA Comey, how did you feel? I want to be with Sean at the end. AUSA, where would you go? Jane says, to his residence. AUSA, was there any part of these hotel nights you enjoyed?
No.
She goes on to say, being with Sean. Like, what she's describing is all she wanted out of this is just to have a relationship with Sean. Originally, she was doing some of this to please him.
Yeah.
Because she had feelings for him. And she's testifying she just wanted to be with Sean. She just wanted to be with Sean. We could put the skyline up and change feeds if this doesn't come back in a second. So she's back on the stand. She's just describing this whole ordeal here. And we're just scratching the surface here. I like this. This is pretty good. Feeds outside the courthouse seem to be going away more and more each day. As this case gets more and more interesting, I notice a lot of the mainstream media have kind of just dipped away from this. I think it's really important to get that information out in real time. All right, so here we go. She just wanted to be with Sean. AUSA Comey. Would you text him? I'd say I love you. Did you text them that you wanted to have sex? Yes, with him. With him. Did you text him to say you wanted to have sex with others? She goes, yes. It was his fantasy. Now that's a little strange there. I'm trying to understand. Because at the time, but she's early into this. I think she's a lot confused. She don't know what's going on. She just wants to please him. I think they're also trying to get this out in the open and air this out in the open before the defense hones in and says, you texted in the past that you wanted all this and you were with it and you're cool with this and you're down, you're a willing participant. Crazy. Did he tell you what to text? That's the question here. It says, did he tell you what to text? Yes. He's asked, what do you want? Be explicit. Why did you write these things? I wanted to make my lover happy. Look at this one from November 9th, 2021. What did you write? She wrote, I'm horny for you. So the prosecution is showing sex text between the parties. And she's describing and talking about these dates. Many victims cling on to memories of kindness or affection early in relationships, right? Isn't that true?
Yep.
At the beginning of the relationships?
They try to get back to that.
All right, we're waiting for an update here. They're discussing all the text. CNN put out a report here a minute ago. Jane testifies about the time she cried after hotel night. Jane was sniffling off and on as she testified about the 2 times she recalled crying after a hotel night, which is a freak off. Hotel night is what they call it, a freak off between them. Goes on to say, the first time she cried after a hotel night was earlier in the relationship at the Waldorf in Beverly Hills. She said she thought they were just going to have a one-on-one date night, but then Combs said they would have an entertainer, but it would just be quick. Jane said the entertainer was there for 18 hours. Once they finished with the entertainer, Jane said Combs told her he had to leave. He tricked her. She began crying. I just went through all that and was feeling terrible, and he said he was just going to leave, she said. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, viewer discretion is advised. AUSA Comey. You don't have to read this, but did you write, I want to suck Paul's. Why did you write that? Jane said, I knew it would turn Sean on. Who is Paul? An entertainer. You texted him you wanted to stop having hotel nights. Yes. Oh boy. Graphic stuff. So they're sharing texts that Jane made to Sean. How, you know, she wants to do something with another entertainer. Oral stuff. But she's testifying that she just wants to turn Sean on. Because remember, she had feelings for Sean at the beginning. At some point, maybe all the way through the relationship, I don't know up to what point. But at the beginning stages of this, she just wants to keep him happy. She's doing these things, she's testifying for him. You texted him you wanted to stop having hotel nights. Yes. No means no, right? They're going to share a text about her telling him she don't want to do this. We've always heard no means no, even in the course if you are having some intimacy with someone in the middle of it, either party has had enough or wants to stop. You say no, you're not with it anymore. That should be the end, right? Yeah. No more. What did you write here? I'm so much more than being left in a dark of a hotel room. My heart is breaking. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore. I feel it's the only reason you pay for the house. We need to talk like adults. So she's coming at him. Listen, I don't want to be left in a dark hotel room anymore. My heart is breaking. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore, Mr. Combs. Sean, I feel as this freak off stuff is the only reason you pay for my house. We need to talk like adults. Waiting for the response. So she's standing up for herself at this point, and it appears like the date of this could be around November 9th, 2021. So within the first, 9 months or 10 months of the relationship, within the end of the year, of the first year of the relationship, she's flat out texting him, no more. I don't want this. It's not the direction I want. I feel like you're just using me. I don't want to be in a room anymore like this. No, we need to talk. You really think you're going to be able to talk some sense into Diddy? I bet you this conversation is going to go, no, you're going to listen to what I say, and if you don't like it, kick rocks or some sort of crazy stuff, or maybe even threats at this point. I don't know.
House.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm waiting. But this is the moment I think she finally realized, I got to stand up for myself. Or at least try and speak up. Sophie's mama said, Diddy says it's too late. I have videos. That's where I feel like this is going. Exactly. I feel like there's going to be some blackmail moving forward here. Bribery or extortion. I got the tapes, though. I got the tapes. I'll ruin your social media career. You won't be nobody. I'll destroy you. I got you. Just like he's done with the others. We'll see. He has a pattern. You know, with Sean P. Diddy Combs, it's history repeats itself with him. All the way up to the time he got arrested. Like he's stuck in the ways. And he just finds a new victim and does the same behaviors with a new victim. Same exact behaviors. Same thing. It's all in him. And apparently it's gone back a long time. Who knows how long it's gone back? I mean, we've pretty much really discussed from like middle of 05, 07, 08 on. Look at all these lawsuits. Look at all these lawsuits. Look at the dates of all the lawsuits. It goes back farther than this indictment. And, you know, makes you wonder, all these 60 lawsuits plus lawsuits against him, it takes you back to 2000, 2001. Even some allegations that goes all the way back to Diddy's mom's apartment in the 70s. And Diddy touching people inappropriately when he was a kid.
Boy, he's getting molested.
But he's just, it's like he's a professional
Child molester.
sicko.
He's a sick individual.
Over and over and
That's all
over
he knows.
and over. Some of you might be just like, well, why didn't Jane just walk away? Why didn't Jane at that point just say, screw your $10,000 a month? This is not worth $10,000 a month for my rent. We'll see. Maybe she's going to explain at this point. I think we're going to get into all the mindset of what she was going through at the time. We're not in her shoes.
Yeah. We don't know.
His arrest sounds like a setup. Like a sting. Now I say a little star. At that point, she could have been cooperating. And it was a setup. And they got him right there in that
hotel
moment. It very well could be. Or they were wiretapping. Or they flipped her at one point.
At one point.
Because I think that they've already said at the beginning, she was with him all the way to the end, to his arrest.
To make sure he get arrested and be where he need to be. Yep.
AUSA says, how long had Sean been paying your rent? All right, so at this point, at the end of 2021, she says 5 months or so. So, you know, for about half a year now, beforehand, Diddy's paying for the hotel, or paying for the apartment. $10,000. $10,000. She wanted 15, she said at first. But then she realized, cost benefit analysis, whatever. The cost of doing this is not worth $10,000 a month to have an apartment paid. I don't want this in a relationship. She's pretty much saying at the same time, I want to be with you. I want to be happy with you. I want to have a relationship with you, but I don't want this stuff I don't want to be left in a dark room. I don't want this type of role playing anymore. I don't want this. And I feel like you're just using me, or this is the only thing you want out of me. You'll pay my apartment, or you'll pay for my apartment, and in return I gotta be your little call girl. Little Barbie doll, and I have to go around and do things at your disposal. Judge says, AOSA, did you see drugs in the hotel rooms? Objection, overruled. Jane says, ecstasy, Molly, cocaine, pink powder. Who gave them to you? Sean. So we're going back to the hotel rooms, the freak offs. Sean gave her drugs. Drugs, lots of drugs. Ecstasy, all types of drugs. Molly, cocaine, pink powder. AUSA, did you ever see any of the entertainers take drugs? She goes, no. That was my one rule. I told them they couldn't take drugs. I didn't want them to be out of control while they were with me. How did ecstasy make you feel? She says, sexual energy. So she said she had one rule. So she couldn't get the entertainers to wear condoms. Diddy's forbidden condoms. But I guess Diddy was in agreement that these entertainers couldn't be on drugs themselves. She did not want these individuals under the influence themselves. So they had to be sober, drug-free. How she would be able to determine that, I have no idea. How did ecstasy make you feel? Sexual energy. So Diddy making her take ecstasy so she gets that sexual energy. So he's drugging her. Why did you feel you had to take these drugs? She goes, otherwise it would be too real. I wanted to. I don't know. She starts crying right now on the stand. It would make things easier. She's saying that she had to take the drugs because if she didn't take the drugs, everything would be too real. And she didn't want to do this. So she had to take the drugs to escape reality. She took the drugs to escape and to make things easier. Did you ever do hotel nights without drugs? She goes, twice. Once with Paul. We've heard Paul, entertainer Paul. I don't know who Paul is. I don't know if anyone knows Paul's last name or who's Paul. We've heard Paul multiple times now. Paul, escort Paul. But she's saying twice, once with Paul. I'm sure she's going to be talking about some sort of experience when she did this as sober. We'll see. We shall see. Stand by. This is all painting a picture. Oh my goodness, I am totally glued to my screen, refreshing every update. Here we go. Call me. Why didn't you take drugs that time? She goes, I didn't want to do that to my body, but real to real, so I asked Sean for a pill. Did Sean give it to you? Yes, I felt better. The second time, my partner was taking too many pills. So she's talking about 2 times where she was sober originally doing this, and then it felt too real. It didn't feel right. So then she did take a pill to make her feel better. So now she has testified basically as the times she did do this sober, it just didn't feel right. She couldn't do it unless she was under the influence. So she more or less she just testified she tried a couple times doing this sober and she just couldn't do it. So she took a pill to make her feel better. It's crazy. It's crazy. According to Little Rod's lawsuit, Diddy allegedly paid Young Miami along with Instagram model Jade Rami and Daphne Joy a monthly stipend to serve as his sex workers.
You have a message.
Yeah. I mean, you're paying people to be sex workers here. Sex trafficking.
He ain't even started.
Goes into the RICO. Goes into the RICO. No, what she just testified is she's countering what the defense could come at her on when they cross her. She's basically saying, when I am sober, I don't want to do this at all. And I did do this a couple times when I was sober, and I couldn't do it. So I had to take the drugs to do it, to escape reality, make myself feel better, more comfortable, more sexual, more at ease. Like a pimp, man. A pimp is giving here. Because the pimp is like, yo, just take this. Come on, you need to do it here. This will help make it better. But you need to take this. Take this drug. Take this ecstasy. Get under the influence so you can do it. It's like a pimp does to prostitutes. Crazy. Jane testified she felt obligated to participate in hotels. In court, Jane said she felt obligated to participate in Combs's hotel nights because she felt she did not, he would take her house away from her while he was paying for it. I wish we could take this back to when we first started dating, Jane wrote in a text to Combs displayed in court. Ever since I opened Pandora's box, I haven't been able to close it. She goes on to say, she said one night of fun just turned into the entirety of our relationship. She said just one night of fun opened up a can of worms and the freak-offs became the entirety of the relationship. That's what she said. Adding that she felt disgusted with myself and was confusing your lust for me as love, causing her heart to break. So again, he tricked her into originally doing this. She was with it originally because she wanted to keep him happy. But then that's all the relationship turned into. Freak-offs. That's it. She couldn't even have any time with him as far as walking on the beach, going out for romantic dinners, doing what relationship couples do, planning a future together. No, their future was she do the freak-offs for Diddy. But she called him out on it. And the jury saw that. She wanted to put a stop to it or question it or said, I don't want to do this anymore. So the jurors saw these texts. Jane continues to go on about times about these freak-offs.
Freaking leaks.
He said, I'll do 30 days without drugs, but let's have one last sobriety party at the, I can't pronounce that hotel. It's the El Hermitage Hotel. So he's just like, just do one more. Just do one more. Let's just have one more. So he's making like these crazy false promises to her when she's trying to get this to stop, saying, well, I'll do 30 days without drugs, like promising her, but let's just do one more. And again, she says that they went to this hotel, and how long did this freak-off last? Too long. 18 hours. Another 18-hour freak-off.
18-hour freak-off.
What happened? The first guy, the second guy, I threw up. Oh my goodness. She made her do 2 guys in one session. 2 guys now. It turned into maybe the freak-offs will stop, or maybe, this will end, or, we won't do this anymore, or I'll stop doing the drugs, into one last sobriety party, which ended up her being with 2 guys. I told Sean I just threw up. AUSA Comey, what did you say? He said, that's good. Now you'll be ready for the 3rd guy. What a creep. He's here. Go. So he tricked her into doing another freak-off under the guise that he'll stop doing drugs. Then, real quick, like he said the other one, it ends up being 18 hours with 2 guys. With 2 guys. She gets sick. She throws up.
Brings another.
And after she throws up, instead of, hey, baby, how are you feeling? You're better, whatever. Here's some chicken soup. Here's a towel. How are you feeling? Get some rest. He's like, good. Now you're ready for the 3rd guy. He's here. How did you feel? I was just disgusted. I was just repulsed. I was just too mad to myself. This is crazy. He made her have sex with 3 guys. Well, I don't know if she ended up having with the 3rd guy, but we'll see. And like the prosecution always does brilliantly with this case, this would be a good time to break. That's what Comey likes to. Comey likes to use the word. Comey's a pro. Maureen Comey is a pro here. Because when she gets into jaw-dropping testimony, she knows where to stop and leave it for the break so the jury can ponder that thought and ponder that testimony. And she says the exact words. This would be a good...
P. Diddy is a freakazoid.
place for a break. All right, so we are on break, ladies and gentlemen, breaking early. And she does that strategically on certain powerful moments of testimony. Usually they break at about 11 a.m. But now we're at an earlier break than normal. So, yeah. That was very shocking to the court, and I can't imagine what the jury's thinking right now. This is bad. Bad. This, listen, honestly, at this point, as bad as it is with Cassie, and it is horrible what happened to Cassie, all the victims, and I'm not saying one is less than the other, but my point is, this is worse. I mean, it is. This is bad in itself. The details here of what he did. He had this poor woman as a complete sex slave and had total disregard for her feelings, emotions, her health. She's sick. He gets her so drugged up, sick, forcing her to have freak offs with multiple men. She throws up. And it's like, oh, okay, you threw up. Good. Get ready for the third guy. This is sick. Absolutely disgusting. And how do you all think that the judge is going to say, yo, Mr. Combs, after the conviction, when the inevitable conviction is coming? Oh, Mr. Combs, I don't think this is as bad as it is. I sentenced you to 10 years in prison or 20 years in prison. No. I can tell you straight up, we're at life sentence here.
Yeah, without a doubt.
If convicted, he's getting life. Convicted, the judge it's life.
Rico check.
There might be boycotts on the judge if he goes less than life, considering what we've heard at this point. Diddy needs a complete miracle here to beat this.
Bribery check.
Miracle. All right, so we're on break. I'm just going to give you kind of like the recaps of what's going on here inside the federal courthouse. We have Times Square here because the other feeds come in and out, and it really doesn't matter what type of feed we have up because we're reading this stuff in real time. We have a nice little backdrop here. It looks pretty cool out there. Times Square. Oh my goodness, Times Square, that area gets packed on Friday nights, Saturday nights. It is wall-to-wall people. There's so many tourists that come and descend to that area. I was just amazed of how many people go down there just on a normal weekend. And it's nice out there now. I mean, the temperature out there is nice. And, Diddy's on the hot seat. He's inside court right now. I think it's the 20-something floor up there, high up at the federal courthouse, 500 Pearl Street. He's fighting to get his freedom to be out there again. But keep in mind, life goes on for everyone else. Diddy's might be spending the rest of his life in prison, and he's not going to be able to enjoy what you're seeing on the screen here. Families and going out, enjoying themselves, getting an ice cream, a slice of pizza, holding kids' hands, memories with your family, your loved ones, memories that last a lifetime. That's all gone for Diddy. But he earned it. He earned it. And some of these victims have everlasting scars forever. They'll be traumatized for the rest of their lives. I mean, this victim right here was literally victimized up to Diddy's arrest in the fall. So things were happening to her within a 2-year span. That is, she's probably still like with Cassie and Capricorn, and then, you know, over time, I don't know if I'm not a psychologist. I don't know if you will end up fully healing, whatever. I'm sure that the scars are always there. But they've had time to get some therapy, which they said help. But with her, she's still in it. She's still in this moment. And it appears to be that she, the victim here, Jane Doe, has been more emotional on this stand than anyone else, because it's all fresh. It's still new. It happened up to last year. The shock of her life. Diddy reeled her in, and her life was a nightmare from 2021 all the way up to 2024. What she described a Pandora's box. Whew. Crazy. Crazy. Judge is like, I agree with the break. I just want to point that out. Look at the bottom of the screen. I agree. Meaning the judge knows this stuff is so powerful and crazy. The judge is even agreeing. I think she needs a break. I think we need a break. One, she has been crying literally nonstop this morning since we started. Now, we started a little bit late because they were ironing out what text could be admitted or not submitted. We started maybe about the 9:17, 9:18. So, hour. She had an hour nonstop crying, more or less. Crazy. In the meantime, it says here, the latest CNN reports, I just want to give an update 1 minute ago to keep people fresh that are coming into the chat. This is as damaging as can be in real time. Jane said she took drugs because she didn't want to feel like it was too real. Jane testified she took drugs during the freak-offs because she didn't want to feel like it was too real. Jane said she wanted to make things easier, her voice breaking again. Jane recalled that she tried not to use drugs during 2 freak-offs. The first time, she said she made the decision because I was tired of doing that to my body, but she didn't like it. The fantasy of it all wasn't there. It just wasn't easy. I was just too real that this was happening. I ended up taking a pill, she said. Combs gave it to her. She felt better. She testified. That's a crime right there. Jane has described dozens and dozens and dozens of crimes, by the way, that have been committed by Sean P. Diddy Combs. Each and every one of her things she's testifying about is a crime itself. A crime. Each and everything that she's been testifying on the stand is a crime. Crimes pile up. RICO. Feds just lump it all into a RICO, which gives them to just share everything. All crimes. There's so many crimes, because if you had to lay out each and every crime, Diddy would probably have 1,000-count indictment on all types of charges. You don't do it that way. They just lump it all into the RICO. Lump it right all into the RICO. Because technically, Diddy could just, each and every one of these incidents is a crime itself. Federal crime. Probably state crime too. The second time, Jane tried not using a drug during a hotel night. It was in October of 2023. So that's just 1 year prior to Combs being arrested. Less than a year. So Combs is doing, she's doing freak-offs in this era, relatively close to where we are now. She said she really wanted Combs to get sober around this time, and he agreed to stop taking substances for 30 days, but wanted to have one last sobriety party first. They had the sobriety party, at the hotel in Beverly Hills, and it lasted 18 hours, she said. She said she didn't take any drugs, but Combs took ecstasy and cocaine. Prosecutor Comey asked Jane how she felt after doing that hotel night without any drugs. I felt disgusted, repulsed. I was just so mad at myself for doing that, Jane said. I just deeply regretted it. Are we back from break yet? No break. Not back from break yet. So we're getting more details here coming out from the media outlets that are in the courtroom. Jane, a former girlfriend of Combs, is reading a text message from 2023 in which she pleaded with him to stop having free calls. By that time, he was paying for her rent and living expenses. Ever since I opened a Pandora's box, I've never been able to close it, she testifies. She also was reading it from a text. I'm so much more than being loved in a dark hotel room doing things that make me feel disgusted. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore. It's dark, it's sleazy, and it makes me feel disgusted with myself. I don't want to feel obligated to perform these nights with you in fear of losing the roof over my head. Combs replied, "Girl, stop." That was his response to that. Girl, stop. Pump the brakes. Stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Girl, stop. She said she just wanted to have an adult conversation about the situation. Crazy. Emotional Jane on the stand. JLR investigates. Come on in. Continuous coverage of the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial. It's going to be a long, long day. We're going to be here all day covering this. So I appreciate everyone that's in the chat while we're on break. I'm scouring around looking for information to share with all of you about what is being said, how it's being said, the latest on this case. Again, folks, as we discussed, it looks like KK could be a cooperating witness here, a co-conspirator, and has reached a deal with the government and might be testifying at some point in this trial after Jane, and will probably corroborate a lot of what Jane's discussing, considering that the prosecution is using some of these texts that are discussed here that were from KK's phone, that phones that she had seized in Miami last year. Powerful stuff, and probably her own phone herself that the government has.
Yep.
KK's in some big trouble.
You have a message.
Yeah.
She is a willing participant and knows a lot of what's going on. Magnolia put on the screen. I'll continue to read. I feel like it's the only reason you had me around and why you paid for the house, Jane wrote. I don't want to feel obligated to perform these nights for you. Diddy responded, girl, stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Just stop. Nope. I don't want to hear it. You're going to do the free calls. But we haven't gotten into any blackmail yet, or threats or extortion yet, but I feel like it's coming. All right. So we're not, it doesn't appear like we're back from break yet. During the break, Combs, in an animated conversation with attorney Mark Shapiro and Steele, talking with his hands. Oh boy, that's the first time I heard that. Also, folks, Combs has been warned, not during Bonna's testimony. Combs was staring and nodding vigorously at the jury. He was warned, but NBC News, he was warned not to do it again. He could get thrown out of the courtroom, removed. But then it's been reported that yesterday, later on at the end of the day, when Jane was on the stand, Combs attempted to do the same thing again to the jurors by looking over at them and staring at them. Now, I don't believe the judge caught that, but it seems like Combs is, continuing what he's been warned not to do. Now they're saying during the break he's animated and he's talking with his hands. Hey, Mark, she's lying. What do you do? Do this. Tell her this. Animated with the hands. What's that mean?
That means your ass is toast. With no butter.
What does that mean? CNN reports the jury is taking a break. Here's what happened so far. It's saying Jane, one of Diddy's accusers and former girlfriend who was testifying under a pseudonym, took the stand again this morning. Yesterday, she detailed an exciting start to her relationship with Combs. How over time she increasingly became uncomfortable with their sexual dynamics and deepening financial ties. He lured her in. Diddy found her, brought her into his web, tricked her into the web, and then boom, she's stuck. She's on drugs, he's paying for things, she's becoming financially dependent off him, and now she's forced to do things under the guise that she believes that they're in a relationship somehow, and it's going to be peaches and cream and do death do us part. Oh, but it didn't turn into that. It just turned into hotel nights. Hotel nights. In a video recording of the hotel night, and this has been corroborated by video has corroborated this. Despite Jane asking Combs to allow the men he directed her to have to wear condoms, the music mogul was dismissive, she said, adding she didn't want to push back and make Combs unhappy. Through sniffles and tears, Jane testified about 2 times she remembers crying at a hotel night freak off. Typically after a hotel night, Jane would go back to Combs' house. He would shower and she'd cook for him. That's new. So now she's also obligated to cook for him. Give him a massage and put on one of his favorite shows before finally getting to cuddle with him and sleep with him. So, here's some other stuff we learned. After a freak off, sometimes she would go shower and then cook for him and massage him and put on his favorite TV show, only to finally get to cuddle with him and sleep with him. She said, which made her happy to end her night with him, but I would really fight to block out just how sad I felt afterward. Crazy. Obligated to perform. In 2023, Jane said she had conversations with Combs about wanting to stop having hotel nights and told him via text that she wished they could go back to when they first started dating. In the message, she said she didn't want to feel obligated to perform these nights for you. Crazy. All right, are we off break? We're not off break yet. Stand by. Still got going on break. So we're on about a 15-minute break going on here. Powerful stuff. It goes on to say, Washington Post with a new report. Sean Combs' lawyers are crowding around him at the defense table while the court is on short break. On the defendant's right is lead attorney Mark. Brian Steele on his left. Alexandra Shapiro is hovering over his shoulder. Combs is animated, gesturing with his hands, and is frustrated or trying to get a point across. Friction amongst the parties. Combs appears, this is the second media report. This is coming from Washington Post. Inner City Press said the same thing. Animated with his hands. Speaking with his lawyers around him. Washington Post says he appears to be frustrated or trying to get his point across. He's having a temper tantrum, Jeanette says.
Temper.
He can't get his ways. He's used all his life directing and telling others what to do. Now he's the one taking all of it.
Take that.
He has to listen. Should have took the plea.
Yep.
Mr. Diddy, I think they came to you, if you're listening, or anyone that's in part of Diddy's inner circle. Should have took the plea.
Yep.
97% conviction rate the FBI or the federal government has. The federal government. Feds. 97% conviction rate. If you get a plea, you should take it. Almost no one dares goes to trial. And almost everyone gets convicted. And I have not seen a nothing burger with this trial so far. I've seen something burgers, lots of them, lots of burgers. And it does not look good here at all. I mean, this is like, it's crashing before our very eyes. All rise, we're back. We're back. Court is in session. Jane is back on the stand. Bring Jane back in and the jury. All right, here we go. Did Sean ever run out of drugs during a hotel night? Here we go. Yes. What happened? He would call one of his assistants or butlers to bring more drugs. Sometimes security. Rico. Rico is assistants. She said sometimes his security would bring drugs to the hotel rooms for the freak offs. Rico. She also said butlers. She's the only one that actually said butlers in this trial, by the way. Because when she testified, when she first met him, they went to the island. She said it was KK, a butler, a assistant, or a butler, a chef, and KK, and bodyguards. I believe bodyguards was also mentioned too. Maybe not, but a butler. Who's the butler? Mr. Belvedere? Who's the butler? Name drop that butler. I wonder if she'll name drop some of his inner circle today, like name drop. 2 Stop, or what's his name? 1 Stop. She gonna name drop 1 Stop. 1 Stop's the drug guy from LA, by the way. Seems like he's centered around LA. 1 Stop. Your one-stop shop for all the drugs to do the freak offs. He contacts 1 Stop. 1 Stop is like the drug.
One stop, can't stop.
All right. Oh, we got assistance. Name drop.
Oh.
Ha! 7 seconds ago. What assistance? Here we go. Brendan, B-R-E-N-D-A-N, Frank and John.
You have a message.
Frank and
Yeah.
John. Thank you, Shazzy J. Thank you. Very grateful. Thank you. We got name drops. Assistants would bring drugs in. Brendan, Frank, and John. Have we heard any of those names? Does anyone know? I saw a Brandon Paul. Seems like a lot of you are saying Brendan Paul. Let me show you a photo of Brendan. Not shown on the gallery screen. No reason to redact, so why not? That's him. He would bring pill bottles. There would be cocaine, weed. Brendan, name dropped. Oh, man. All right, so a photo was just shown. She positively identified assistant Brendan. Magnolia put Brandon Paul.
Told you can't trust people. Dropping names. Diddy badoo. They are dropping names. Okay, guys. That's it for today. We will see you tomorrow as I head on out to Hogansville, Georgia, to look at a Samsung refrigerator as well. What else? Hang on. Let's see where else I'm going to go. Tomorrow's Saturday. Stone Mountain. Donald. Not dreaming. He should be stop number 2. Donald Anderson. Donald Anderson. What's up? You watching the dot?
Yeah, what's up with you? You're supposed to have been calling me when you were done.
Donald Anderson. Hang on a minute, baby. Trying to get this customer.
Okay, all right, call me back.
You can talk. I'm talking to them on text.
Yeah, you know you can't do 2 things at one time.
I can.
So just call me when you're done.
No, you
so
can
then
talk.
you should have called me.
No, I
No, I
couldn't.
don't have anything to say. I was just waiting for you to call me. That's all.
You know what? I'm going to rip your little butt.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Call me when you finish. Bye.
Today. Tomorrow. On a washer. Stop. 2. Okay, so that's going to be Stone Mountain and Hogansville tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. This is your boy Doug. Have a blessed day. The sun's out. Get out, get you some air, some sunshine, some exercise. And we'll see you tomorrow. Doug's out.